Last week, the Nebraska Cattlemen Foundation announced awarding over $70,000 in scholarships to youth in the beef state. I'm Rebel Saklocha, joining you. One young lady, Allison Walbrecht of Lincoln, was selected as the 2025 Beef State Scholar, the most prestigious of scholarships to be awarded by the Nebraska Cattlemen Foundation, and is a $10,000 monetary award. Walbrecht, a fifth-generation cattle producer from Lincoln, shares about her background and goals for the future.
I'm really grateful that I was chosen as this year's Beef State Scholar. I'm a really proud fifth-generation beef producer from the outskirts of Lincoln. So grew up kind of in that non-traditional sense for agriculture. Grew up going to school in Lincoln while coming home then and farming with my dad, which gave me a really interesting perspective. And now, as I'm a senior in college trying to think about how I can capitalize on all those experiences, I'm really excited to go into ag trade policy and just ag policy as a whole, kind of hoping to influence some of that. I feel like from my experiences, I've been able to understand maybe where the consumer's coming from just a little bit more, having been exposed to them so early on. So kind of hoping to leverage that through my animal science degree major and then minors in the beef industry, scholars, angler entrepreneurship, and agribusiness.
Walbrecht shares about her passion for the beef industry and where it comes from.
I think it's so cool that I've got a firsthand look into agriculture from day one in my life. I've been fortunate enough to see the love and devotion that my dad has to this industry, and to see that kind of passion I think is rare when people often talk about their jobs. And the one place that I've never seen a lack of passion is within agriculture. And so I just kind of got to grow up with him and discovered my own passion for beef and agriculture as a whole.
Walbrecht is currently a senior at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, majoring in animal science. She shares about her current involvements.
As my knowledge has grown throughout different things I've been in, so when I was a freshman, I actually was lucky enough to intern for Nebraska Cattlemen, and that was kind of my leeway into the policy realm of the industry, and that was super interesting to me, caught my eye, and wanted to stay involved in it that way. And then throughout school, I've just gotten involved more and more, been able to be exposed to so many different parts of the industry. I went in kind of thinking that I knew all the different routes that there were available to beef producers, because that's what we used at home, and then came to the University of Nebraska and realized that there's so many more opportunities than I could have ever dreamed of. So that's been super interesting to learn about, and just want to make sure that there's something for producers to go back home to, that there's a way that we can continue to keep these producers profitable so that they can continue being so passionate about what they do and feeding our world and feeding our country.
Walbrecht is this year's Young Nebraska Cattlemen president, a role she does not take lightly.
Young Nebraska Cattlemen is such an interesting program to be a part of, because if you took the name Young off, the maturity level in that room is out of this world, in my opinion, because every single person in there is so tuned into what's happening in the beef industry in different sections and want to be an asset to the industry and want to be changing things and moving things and making things better. And so it's really cool and an honor to be able to even be in that room.
Once again, that's Allison Walbrecht of Lincoln, the 2025 Nebraska Cattlemen Beef State Scholar. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Rebel Saklocha reporting.